Hello, beautiful people. My name is Athol, and this is Relationship Momentum. So today's question is, why do people stay in bad relationships? And by bad relationships, I'm meaning really objectively bad, where often, the person's best friend has told them, this is terrible, you really need to get out. Their wider circle of friends have said, you really need to get out. Family members on both sides of the relationship have told them, this is really crappy, you need to get out. The counselors told them to get out, the pastors told them to get out, the dog barks very loudly, and if we knew what the dog said, it would probably be, get out! So, it's objectively bad, it sucks, it's not getting better, it's never going to get better, but they stay in the relationship. And I've been in a number of situations now with people that I've talked to by email and coaching calls where I've seen an objectively horribly bad situation and I've begged people to just pull the plug. It's never going to get better. And they almost always agree with me that it's the right idea, it's what they should do, but then they stay in the relationship anyway. So here's what's going on. If you think of the relationship momentum scale, where 100 is it's absolutely amazingly ecstatic, 80 is pretty much a normal high water resting mark when you're first getting together in a meeting and everything's going really well, 60 things are pretty good and mostly happy but some stress, 40 is it's no longer really being all that great but we're hanging in there, 20 being a sort of a tipping point between I'm talking myself into staying in the relationship and I'm talking myself into leaving the relationship. And that really is the difference between 20 to 40 and 0 to 20. 20 to 40, happiness, they are making excuses, they're making rationalizations about why they should stay in a relationship they don't want to be in. They are not going to leave because they want it to be good for their kids. They're not going to leave because they have all this invested time together. There's a relationship history. They're not going to leave because, it would disrupt careers or finances or whatever it is. They don't want to lose their extended family. There are reasons to stay and they focus on them. Even though they are not happy and they're not enjoying their relationship and they don't like what their relationship is with their partner, they talk themselves into staying. When it falls below 20%, now all those rationalizations and thoughts turn into reasons to leave. So 20 to 40, I can't leave because of the children. It would hurt them. It would blah, 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 blah. 0 to 20, I can't stay because I'm setting such a terrible example to my children and my children would be better off if we were in separate families and they weren't facing this daily stress and drama and chaos. So that's the difference. So often when you're talking to someone who is in an objectively bad relationship, often they're just hovering around 20 to 25% happiness. So they're right at that bottom level of talking themselves into staying in the relationship, but it's not quite bad enough that they're now starting to justify reasons to go. And very often what you see in these situations is periodically they will fall below 20%. Their partner will do something obnoxious, they will say something, they will do something, they'll be faced with the worst of their behavior, and they finally drop below 20% happiness. And often there is a big reaction. They kind of snap, they yell, they have a little tantrum, they are mad that you're this horrible person that I have to live with and you have to fix it and you have to do things differently and I'm tired of telling you and blah, 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 blah. And it's a tantrum. And then, a tantrum from the good partner and then the bad partner's like, holy crap, I've really pissed them off. They really might do something. They look mad. They really might leave. And then for 24 to 48 hours, they turn it all on. They turn on the charm. They are loving. They are affectionate. The sex suddenly comes, and it's good sex. And then the good partner's like, oh my goodness, I'm finally getting the love, the affection, the sex that I wanted. And then that just rises them up just above 20%. And the tantrum ends. And they go back to talking themselves to stay in the relationship. They keep coming up with reasons to stay. Yeah, it sucks, but I'm not going to go. And often you see this yo-yoing backwards and forwards between, just hovering just above 20% and then occasional dipping down below 20%. And this can go on for months or years or decades. And it never really gets better. And the bad partner really doesn't love them, doesn't have any great affection for them, isn't really interested in sex, doesn't want to give them anything that they want. They're getting something that they want themselves out of the relationship, usually some sort of stability, or that they'll put up with, their own sort of psych issues or their nonsense or their alcohol or gambling or whatever their big personal problem is that they most want from a relationship. They don't love them, don't care about them. They're just a means to an end, something that they have to put up with the relationship. They have to put up with their partner to get what they want from it. But they drip feed out love, sex, and affection once in a while, and their partner just hangs in there, and it never gets better. And I've now seen this scenario play out multiple times, and it never improves because the bad partner is just not interested in the relationship at all. They're not invested. They don't want to work on things. They're not going to read a book. They're not going to go on a seminar. They're not going to do a retreat. They're not going to do a coaching call. They sure as hell do not want to go to therapy or counseling. They don't want it. So eventually all you can kind of hope for sometimes is that they finally do something that's just crappy enough where the good partner just has their awakening moment of like, this is never going to get better. It really sucks. They're not going to improve. And it's just time to go. So I hope that sort of explains why people stay in bad relationships. It really just depends on that good partner not wanting to leave for whatever reason, talking themselves into staying, because it never quite gets bad enough where they say, I cannot take this anymore, and they really want to exit. So that's about it for today. Hope you liked the video. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good internet stuff, and I will talk to you tomorrow.